Normal employee exits are straightforward. Disconnect the email account, confiscate the badge, and the immediate threat effectively drops to zero. But when a senior leader leaves on bad terms, that standard playbook breaks down. Senior executives present a high-impact insider threat. They operate with sweeping administrative access and intimate knowledge of strategic initiatives. Because they understand exactly how the company works, they know exactly how to bypass the standard security measures meant to protect it. This chart visualizes the frequency and severity of the over 3,000 data breaches recorded in the U.S. in 2023. While external attacks generate the most headlines, the data illustrates that the most devastating financial and operational damage originates from inside the perimeter. An executive's daily routine requires deep, structural access to the network. Their permissions span across multiple departments, giving them the unchecked capability to manipulate the operational foundation of the entire organization. Organizations spend billions building external perimeters. These defenses are effectively neutralized when the primary threat operates with full administrative authority. As leaders climb the corporate ladder, they systematically accumulate broad administrative rights. Because of their rank, they rarely face the routine security audits required of junior staff. This creates the privilege paradox. Over years of tenure, they collect an extensive array of access points. They hold top-tier cloud platform permissions, direct connections to financial systems, and control over private communication tools. Look at this visual breakdown. In 2022, 41% of employees acquired or created technology outside their IT team's knowledge. Watch as those undocumented applications fade from view. This visibility gap means executives build private workflows entirely out of IT's reach. These invisible digital empires leave security teams blind. You cannot defend the data moving through pipelines you do not know exist. When an exit turns hostile, that blindness becomes an immediate liability. The executive's detailed knowledge of the company merges with a sudden motivation for retaliation. The first immediate risk vector is data theft. Departing leaders can quietly siphon sensitive files right out the door by routing them through unmonitored personal cloud storage or setting up hidden email forwards. Then comes the threat of deliberate operational sabotage. A privileged user can log in and alter foundational security configurations or corrupt data backups, paralyzing business operations and delaying recovery efforts. The third major risk is intellectual property compromise. An angry executive walking away with confidential strategic initiatives and sharing them with competitors or outside investors triggers measurable financial losses and direct legal consequences. A hostile executive departure functions as an active, deliberate campaign of operational disruption, rather than a standard HR dispute. Containing this threat requires stringent preparation long before a termination occurs. Organizations must proactively maintain continuous, up-to-date inventories of every privileged account and third-party access point tied to their leadership team. Waiting until an executive is fired to start mapping out their network footprint guarantees that critical systems will be overlooked in the chaos of the exit. This timeline illustrates the simultaneous strike protocol. Security, HR, and legal must synchronize actions so all access is severed at exactly the same time. Notice the pulsing red gaps on the sequential timeline. Revoking access one by one hands executives windows to retaliate during offboarding. A perfectly coordinated, simultaneous response is the absolute only effective way to neutralize an internal threat holding top-level security clearance. The corporate risk does not vanish the second the executive's badge is deactivated. The immediate aftermath demands aggressive, sustained monitoring. Security teams must deploy AI-driven digital forensics to lock down the evidence. This requires immediately preserving endpoint images and email data before standard retention periods expire and critical activity logs are lost. The environment requires continuous behavioral tracking long after the departure. Security teams need to monitor closely for failed authentication attempts or logins from unmanaged devices, which signal an attempt at delayed retaliation. Corporate cybersecurity relies on mastering the governance of power inside your walls before professional relationships collapse.